Okay, Roy. Jesus, how's it going?
Everything's going good.
Good?
Kendra, how's it going? Everything's going good.
Jesus,
Right,
yo.
man.
What's up?
How's it going?
Yo,
Abel,
you good?
how's
Good,
everything?
guy? Chilling. Yeah. Yo, why it take you so long to get here, man?
The train, the bus, I had to go from the 4 to the M to the F to this and the
Nah,
third.
man.
I
that's crazy.
don't think so. I think it was looking himself at the mirror with
Oh.
his shirt.
Just a little bit, you know how to fix the hair.
Yeah, but the shirt is good.
You had to make sure the shirt was right.
Thanks, man, thanks. I love your guys' shirt too. Where'd you get it from again? You said
To be honest, I think my wife got it for me. She's very into, she knows I love plot, so she
You
have
need,
a collection of plot
you need
shirts.
to add him on Instagram. He's a model now. On the
yeah.
side. On the side, yeah.
You need to take a look into
Yeah,
it.
you see that picture on WhatsApp?
Nah.
I'm like this guy. Model material.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just learned about the Me Too movement. What do you guys think about that?
I think it's a movement that's really changing the world as we speak. I think it's very huge. I think it's big. I think it's also showcasing the hyper-masculinity in society. I think it's also highlighting that a lot of men truly don't know what consent is and how to define consent and what role you have in even trying to talk to or engage with a partner. It's really changing the whole, in my opinion, like the whole system of how you're supposed to try to get consent from somebody or somebody's supposed to get consent from you. I think it's really mind blowing. Me Too movement.
Yeah, there's I feel like there's a lot of questions that we started asking that, we didn't really think about before as men. Things that we kind of, I guess, weren't really thinking about back then, but now it's it's starting to become more of it's starting to get brought up more often.
I mean, I was just unaware of it. Working and studying, having a tight schedule. It was very surprising for me this morning that this was going on. What do you think, Abel? Is it? And
Man, it's complicated. This Me Too thing is you can see both sides to it. I mean, when you think about it, I personally have my mom. I think about my sisters. I think about my nieces, and I can't help but think of wanting to protect them from anything like that. But at the same time, I know of situations where, guys have been victims of false accusations and things like that, and it can be very touchy, it can be very complicated. You don't know how to act sometimes. You don't know how to act. I don't. I'm not single right now, but when I was, or if I was, it would definitely be more complicated to approach someone, to know how to act, how to move, when to initiate, how far to go. It can be tricky, man, and especially nowadays that hashtag, that Instagram is going live, so yeah, man, it's complicated for you single guys now.
I mean, I'm not single, but but the question, my understanding and my question, my personal question is that, do you see females in another perspective now as before? I mean, I'm sure that social media plays a big role into it, because now we young people and all type of generation people have access to the information. But do you see this a different perspective that you think about females now than maybe than before, that you think a few years ago when social media was not a thing?
Yeah, definitely. I think you have to be a little more guarded now, or you feel there's an extra type of invisible check that you have to put on yourself sometimes, whether that's right or wrong,
Definitely.
But that's more I feel it's probably how information's moving so fast now. We literally have computers in our pockets, and the way we filter, absorb, and just get exposed to things just has just like gotten so quick that sometimes it's kind of hard to make a sense of like what certain things like the Me Too movement even mean, you know, or like, you know, what it's about.
Right. Yeah.
So I guess sometimes it can be a little confusing to try to like catch up with like who started it, when it happened, and it's more easy to just kind of like sort of like see it out of nowhere through like a Facebook post, or like, you know, or, you know, Jesus hearing it today.
Yeah, I mean, but what's the perspective of females when you hear about this? What would you say would be before the Me Too movement as opposed to now?
Like I said, I just me personally, I feel like, you know, I have to be a little more careful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have to try to, whether that's right or wrong, you know, I don't know, but
yes,
I personally feel like I have to like be a little more conscious about, you know, how I talk to females,
Like more guarded.
what I say. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I even personally say for myself, I don't view women differently after the Me Too movement.
yeah,
You know, 'cause I do think it's a real issue.
Yeah.
It is.
I was never necessarily a practitioner of that. You know, consent is consent, and
Yeah.
consent to me is very clear. And I think you shouldn't try to push that border in no way, shape, or form. So I'm glad it's happening. 'Cause I think it's an honest conversation.
it is.
You know, because I think one time, even like before the Me Too movement, everything was more, I guess this is the way of life. I'm a man, and I must be more aggressive. Like I must be more aggressive than this other guy if I truly want that girl, or whatever that situation may be. And that's not necessarily the situation.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I completely understand your point of view.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like you gotta kind of worry about things, even if like you know that you have to be worried about them or not, you know. And you can't tell sometimes whether it should be something you're worried about.
Most definitely.
It's kind of hard to like try to get like a clear definition.
Yeah, and it also depends, you know, what type of culture does the female have or has been exposed to. Because it will be a certain hello, certain way we say hello will be different perspective depending what the culture is. You know, I suppose I know my culture is very welcoming, is very warm culture where, you know, you give hugs, you say hello and stuff like that, as opposed to any other culture, you know, you're not allowed to touch your hands of the female. But you know, Me Too movement, you know, I learned a lot today, and then it's something I feel is positive and maybe some negative, but it's a movement that needed to be happening.
Yeah, I gotta be careful now. I mean, I was the type to be giving hugs and kisses left and right, and, you know, grabbing people left and right and talking and getting a little too close. But, you know, not in a sexual or any, you know, fresh way. But
Exactly.
you know, it's just the way we grew up. We kissing old ladies and kissing. I mean, not just that, but just, you know, just
Definitely.
that was just normal. You know what I'm saying? And it's like for me, it's definitely like I've definitely. Even in the workplace, I've you know, learned to work with people from different cultures, and, you know, specifically, you know, for example, this is one situation where, you know, girl's very like she's very specific. Well, I mean, I don't know how to say it, but it was very obvious that she was trying to keep her distance. And at first it was like, you know, is there something going on? But then I realized not everybody's like you, you know, just, you know, that's fine. You can say hi without giving them, you know, you can say hi from far, or, you know, you don't have to give everybody a hug or a kiss or a handshake even. And that's fine, you know. So for me, you know, it's been learning how to feel comfortable in those spaces. But, you know, there's definitely on the other side, those people that they, you know, they do too much, but they get too close, and that's where that's when I think about my sisters and my cousins and my nieces and my mom, and I wouldn't want to think that they're getting, you know, disrespected or whatever like that, you know. I don't know what I would do, man. It's crazy.
Definitely, man. I think that's one of the missing parts of the Me Too movement at the moment. I think we've seen a lot of macro examples in the media, and I think it's really bringing the skeletons to the forefront. But I feel like a lot of people are not really bringing about a lot of positive change or solutions. I think there hasn't been a real honest conversation about solutions and what proper infrastructure or different things that need to like be inserted into like certain companies or in the workplace in general, of like what is appropriate, what is not appropriate, like having an honest conversation about that. Because Jesus brought up an excellent point with the culture. You know, some cultures you might hug a certain way or kiss a certain way, and honestly, that's the way you are because of your culture and the way you were. That's been ingrained in you. And that's the way you grew. And then the other individual might interpret that as sexual assault or some type of sexual situation. And now, because we have this disconnect of culture of how you define this and how I define that, we have a whole big issue. And I feel like that honest.
So you got to kind of identify, like, you know, what's okay, what's not, and sometimes you know what's okay, what's not from your previous experience. Sometimes you don't know because you never have.
Yeah, but
it's like
you're
kind of confused.
Because I know it's not gonna be a clear-cut conversation, but at least try to create a standard. Or create some acknowledgement that okay, this is a no, this is okay, or whatever the situation may be.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long list now, and it's gonna be changing left and right. You're gonna add in, subtracting rules. I mean, it's just that's what it is. It can be so subjective depending on who you are, where you come from, things like that. But I guess you could come up with a standard where it falls under general rules or something like that, where you just I
don't know if you guys like follow like I try to stay away from it, but you know, recently and even I was watching the news and I think there was a news reporter where he was trying to ask the president a question or something, and then they told him to take away the mic from him, and there was like there's a woman, I think she like kind of like took the mic a certain way, but then there was like they edited the video and then they just made it seem like she was the one being like sort of manhandled. But it was actually her trying to take it away from him and like the real picture. So, you know, sometimes I feel like that, you know, you can have that sort of side to the whole Me Too movement too, that like I feel like it doesn't get enough attention either, you know.
Definitely.
Yeah, man.
Or sometimes you know, men can also be sexually assaulted too, or like handled in a certain way that if it was like the other way around, like people would like lose their mind. Not to say, you know, it's not right or wrong, but
most definitely.
Yeah.
I think that's also another part that's not being talked about enough. And I think when it is talked about, a lot of those victims are like subjugated or looked upon differently. Like I could think of the macro level example with the actor Terry Crews, where he was at a party and an individual grabs his genitals.
Oh wow.
And I remember when it just came out, everybody was like, come on, man, you're a man. What are you talking about? You don't reveal something like that. You got grabbed by the genitals. Ain't even do anything about it. Showcasing that this person basically, you know, puts you in your place. Like it's a real shame. That guy's a victim.
You know. Sometimes like you could even like, I guess you could even be like praised for that. Like you know, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, because you just got attention from a girl. Even if that's not how he feels, you know?
Exactly.
But sometimes it doesn't matter how you feel based on the social circle you're around, because that could just be like, you know, something that's positively reinforced.